up to 1 o'clock, which is time to say goodnight on Radio 4 and join our colleagues at the BBC World Service, or if you prefer, tune in to Radio 4 Extra, where the redundant pitman turned private investigator Stephen J. Blackburn is embroiled with Hungarian exiles. Meanwhile, we'll be back in the morning with the shipping forecast and news briefing. Then in open country, we visit the landscape that's believed to have inspired Never Never Land. That's just after 6 o'clock. But for now, this is Alice Arnold, not only wishing you a very good night, but also saying goodbye. It's been a pleasure, and thank you so much for listening.
More revelations about the claims for expenses submitted by senior Conservative MPs will feature in the Daily Telegraph tomorrow. Some of the reports highlight MPs for rural areas. The MP, James Arbuthnot, is said to have claimed £1,400 for maintaining a swimming pool at his rented home in Hampshire. During the day, the leaders of all the main parties apologised to the public for what had happened. When the Speaker of the House of Commons made his first public comment on the disclosures, he clashed angrily with MPs who had appeared on the media to criticise the response of the authorities.
Last night we reported that some followers of the Mayan civilization in Central America were predicting that the world would end at around 11 o'clock this morning. It didn't.
BBC News at 6 o'clock. This is Peter Donaldson. Good evening. Military commanders in Afghanistan say troop morale remains high despite the deaths of 2 soldiers, taking the total number killed there to more than 200. Gordon Brown has said their sacrifice is making Britain safer. The government has rejected Conservative complaints about the quality of GCSEs and A-levels, saying both exams ensure pupils are stretched. And England have turned to an uncapped but high-scoring batsman for the Ashes decider against Australia.
Now here on BBC Radio 4, it's time for Pick of the Week with Sheila McLennan.
The award-winning screenwriter Abby Mann has died at the age of 80. He won an Academy Award in 1961 for Judgment at Nuremberg. Abby Mann also won several Emmys, including one in 1973 for a film which featured a police detective called the character on whom a long-running TV series was eventually based.
You and Yours was presented by Julian Warwicker. The producer was Katie Johnston. Now, the weather in a lot of parts of the country has been rather pleasant recently, but not quite so good this morning. Let's see what's in store now from Thomas Schaffenacker.
BBC News at 6 o'clock. This is Annie McKie. Good evening. Proposals to change the way care for the elderly is funded in England have been set out by the government. One of the options being considered is a compulsory insurance scheme, which would cost up to £20,000 per person. The bodies of 8 British soldiers who were killed in Afghanistan last week have arrived back in the UK. The investment bank Goldman Sachs, which was bailed out by the US government, has announced profits running into billions of pounds. Bonuses for the BBC's most senior executives have been suspended indefinitely.
BBC News at 6 o'clock. This is Rory Morrison. Good evening. Gordon Brown has responded to criticism of his strategy in Afghanistan by insisting that the aims of the operation are realistic and achievable. The Prime Minister said the war against the Taliban safeguarded Britain and promoted security further afield. As finance ministers from the group of the 20 richest nations gather in London, there are deepening divisions over how to restrict bankers' bonuses.